Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Brahma Merastriparan Takare. Banushashi Bumisito. Buddhasha Gurusha Shukra. Shani Rahu Keteva. Sarve Graha Shantikara Bhavantu. Om. Greetings, and I'm Cosmic Kev here with your weekly astrological forecast. This one goes from November 3rd through November 9th, 10th, 2023. So what happens this week? Well, first of all, we start out with Friday, and what's the moon, where is it? And we'd look in the constellation of Gemini to actually see it, and it's in a lunar mansion that's known as Punavarsu. So Punavarsu really brings wealth. It means to repeat actions. It also means to aim for your goal, and that there's an infinite amount of possibilities. So Punavarsu, the symbol is the bow or the quiver in which arrows are held. And so the bow is symbolic of attention that's spread before we're able to hit our mark. And the abode is where arrows live. Now, these people that have moon in Punavarsu, which I'm trying to think, in Western astrology might be like 11 degrees to maybe 24 degrees Cancer, something like that. Not exactly sure in Western, but in Vedic it's in the constellation of Gemini. And so the fact there's the abode for arrows or quiver is that you take the arrows and you use them over again. See, so there's something about repetitive action. And it's also about implying a home. Like, these people like to have a nice home. And the ruling deity is known as Aditi, the goddess of infinity. This nakshatra is 3/4 Gemini, 1/4 Cancer. And it also has it's a Jupiter-ruled nakshatra, like all the Jupiter-ruled nakshatras are 3/4 air, 1/4 water. So that would include this one, Punavarsu. It also includes Vishaka, and it also includes Purva Bhadrapada or Purva Bhadra. So, Jupiter-ruled nakshatras is kind of like this place where we're out of a Rahu nakshatra, where it's like, oh my gosh, life is full of illusions and ungrounding experiences. Suddenly, we're getting that push we need, and we realize in Punavarsu how important it is to just be really honest with ourselves, how important it is to be generous to others, how important it is to listen to God's voice and go for something of a more spiritual dimension versus just material stuff. When we live in a really material world, but it can lead to all kinds of impermanence, attachments, suffering. These are not things we want on our table, so the lighter we are attached to things, ultimately, the easier it is to heal, the easier it is to move forward, the easier it is to forgive and move. So, in Western astrology, which is based on seasons, we say that we're in Scorpio time of year. We've got a Cancer moon. Water on water. It makes for a really good Friday. And I think, it's just how you're feeling, checking in. I notice, the Cancer moon, I have more feels, I'm sure you have the feels too. And if you like this show, I really encourage you to subscribe to it, to make some comments. I love seeing your comments, your face, if you have like a profile picture too, anything that you do to express yourself. It's lovely. And Monica, thank you for the comment. And Sean, it's always good to have you checking in, and the other folks out there who check in, like Rebecca and Melissa, and of course Anna will watch it more than likely. Let's see here. Okay, so let's start with you, Aries. I guess I've said enough maybe about Scorpio. I'd say, well, Mars is there. That's really powerful. Mercury's been there. That's powerful too. Um, but Aries, Scorpio is your eighth house. So eighth house, there's things that are not within our own control that are going on, and it's not an easy thing. It can be often really ego crushing. This also puts up your intuitive antenna. You're just sensing a lot of stuff. And sometimes I say that the eighth house is a house where we're dealing with rectifying past life karma. Sometimes it's also when our spouse or partner is more empowered than us, and their benefits are coming. And sometimes it's also a time when if you're in need of help from someone else, this is when you can get your best support. That's the gift of the eighth house. And they say that's why inheritance is there, sex, death, rebirth, birth. It's all there. It's a messy house, and and it's dark and it's deep, but it contains certain treasures. So I think I'd just be mindful of that as you go through the week. Hello, Taurus. Scorpio is your partnership sign. I mean, Mars in the seventh house. I mean, I could see how like people will call you out on your own BS. I mean, most Tauruses are not fans of that. They don't like that. They kind of like their intentions are really good, but you know how it is. You know what you've heard about the path to hell. It's paved with good intentions. I'm like, oh boy, the road to hell. We don't need that right now. Right now, hopefully we don't need that ever. But the road to righteousness is really just saying, hey, yeah, I admit I was wrong on that one. We can't put faith in man and other people. We want to have a partnership. We want to have a relationship. And relationships are powerful at this time. And the kind of lustier vibe is sort of more powerful too at this time. So, but and Venus is in Virgo. And you probably do better with Venus in Virgo than most signs. Although it is going to go into Libra, I think on Wednesday. And so Wednesday, the vibe will kind of shift a little bit. And it just get a little less critical, maybe. Okay, well. Hello, Gemini. I want to say hi. I got to say hi to Zoe, because Zoe is a Gemini. He made a comment. We're not all. I'm like, my God, could I make any generalization about any sign? No. Especially not Gemini. No, I do say though, I do sometimes say they have sometimes they reserve this other personality that they want to take outside for a walk and present to other people. I'm sure on Halloween they got a big opportunity for that. It's, yeah, I mean, they're looking for their twin. I really like the Vedic version of Gemini a little better because it's more karma and soul purpose. And, if you're born the last 6 degrees of Gemini, so say you're born on the 15th, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You people are Gemini, okay? So you have that, looking for the sacred couple, sacred partner. And, I want my Geminis to subscribe, I want my Geminis to share this with their friends. Mercury is going to go into Sagittarius this week. So that happens on Thursday night. And so, Scorpio's a little more reserved in speaking in Mercury. Sagittarius got no qualms about cutting through the BS and then giving you an even more rotten, exaggerated version. Yeah, so, I mean, actually, Mercury in the 7th can make Gemini a sweet talker this week. So, we're going to... It should be an interesting weekend for you. Moon will be in Leo parts of the weekend, so that's going to make you more social. You go out there, socialize. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. So, I mean, Friday is probably your power day. I mean, Saturday morning you might be feeling pretty good, but then, I think as the weekend goes on, you'll be sensing, hey, I don't know. And you have to realize that you're going to have to maybe resist spending too much. I'm not trying to stop the economy from rising. I just don't want people to be in debt. I want them to have satisfaction in their life and create real wealth. To be more producers rather than consumers. Just like the good old days in the US of A. When I was born, we were the #1 export nation in the world. Of course, I wasn't born in a place where people spoke like that. I was born in a place where people speak like this. Yeah, we're Americans. We're the greatest ethnic country in the world. Do any of you miss that? Anyhow, yeah, I mean, I think we're the best country to be wealthy in the world, and that part we always protect our poor rich people. That's one thing we've done a really great job about. As far as like actual poor people, well, they barely even existed when I was a kid growing up, and somehow in the '80s it started to get kind of bad. It was sort of just bad, but not worse in the '90s. It wasn't so bad. And then the zeros came, and it was like okay, but a little worse, and then a little worse, and a little worse, and a little worse. So, I mean, but Scorpio time's a fun time for Cancer. So I think that Cancer is going to have a great time. And got more energy, got something to talk about. You'll be working on health issues, so just keep on being good to yourself. Hello, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. And one Leo friend say, it's the one sign that really scares the bejeebies out of me. It's like, I'm pretty tough as a Leo. But if a Scorpio says something, and it's their time of year especially, it's like, I'm moving over right now, avoiding the conflict. And I could see that, because like in a way it's like Leo's got that bright, bold fire, but man, when the storms in November come, it's like the Edmund Fitzgerald, you got to be really careful. When the gales in November start going and there's that water going, that could put out the fire altogether. Yeah, and Scorpio's more concerned with deep stuff. It's not just about, oh, look how flashy I am, yeah, that is not going to fly. I mean, normally, most of the year, Leo, you do really good with that stuff, but no, now it's like, I got to come up with something deep, or I ain't going to go out at all. It's like, if you're going to run with the big dog, can't run with the big dogs, and you get on the porch. That's the old saying there. But you're more concerned about your home life, maybe older parents, what's going on with them, and that is a big deal. And there's a lot of personal happiness invested in that, and it's also like a time where you could sell things that you don't necessarily need. You're dealing with fixed assets. Some of you might even be moving. I know, I said that, didn't I? I think you'll benefit a little bit from Venus going into Libra. It's just, this kind of switch over of consciousness from being as concerned about money to maybe more concerned about siblings, friends, community. Okay, here we go with Virgo. Well, Virgo, greetings, welcome to your time. Now, Scorpio time for Virgo is the 3rd house, and that's about communication, it's about the library, it's about friends you grew up with, elementary school, high school, maybe undergrad, that whole, especially a period of time, probably from junior high through undergrad, that's kind of your 3rd house, you're like, oh my God, I'm becoming an adult-like. You can't tell me what to do. Hey, what's for dinner? That age. So like, what's working for you? Well, Jupiter and Taurus definitely is a plus in the 9th house. Even Uranus being there, it's like, you're willing to get excited and renewed about new information and to expand that information, gather that information, put it out there. Mercury's going to go from 3rd house, which is great at gathering information, especially neighborhood gossip, but that goes into the 4th house, and that's more like history and deep science and investigative stuff, so you get a little bit smarter. I mean, it's kind of like an introspective time, 3rd house is you know, you like people, you like connecting, but it's also kind of like, yeah, but I kind of have to do my thing. And it's working with your hands, doing your artwork, writing, communication style. It's a lot of fun, really. Okay, so we're going to Libra. So here's the good news, Libra, is on Wednesday, I think Wednesday morning, Venus goes in your first house, so you'll be looking better. There's a certain amount of economic activity with Scorpio for you. It rules your second house, so money, value, parents, what's going on with them. Maybe getting dental work done, you know, little things like that. It's going to end up being big things, I know. That's about it. You know, Mercury going into your third house on Thursday night. You know, that's going to be cool. You know, that's going to help improve the communication game for you. And you know, you're kind of having to do some deep inner healing, and you know, you might be engaged in some kind of unconventional relationship. You're just not sure where this is going or how grounded it is, and you're really good at getting help from other people when the chips go down. Your intuition is on. You're sensing things. This is good. Weekend, you might be working some. You know, Friday, maybe a little bit Saturday, but then you're just getting into socializing and having a great time. And what is wrong with that? Well, greetings, Scorpio. Happy birthday. I want to wish a happy birthday to my friend John Dittis, who's turning 58 today. And let's see, who else do I know? There's a lot of Scorpios in the vicinity I live. I think this is Adam Ant's birthday, too. But so many more Scorpio friends I know. I just saw one of them today, Gary Lawton's having a birthday, so I don't know what he's turning, maybe 37, 38, I'm not sure, maybe more, maybe less, but on November 6th. And my friend Terry in Bend, I think, is turning 53. Happy birthday, Terry. She does some really good astrology work and Reiki work, and she knows 9-star astrology, which is a really more unique gift of Chinese astrology. So I guess I'm giving a little commercial for Terry. And let's see, we got communication issues. They'll start to improve, actually. I think when Mercury goes in your second house, you're going to feel like you're getting a voice. Economically, things that have been kind of bothering you will seem to kind of pick up. The money's coming in. Relationship-wise, it's kind of wild, you know. There could be some surprises on the horizon, you know. It's like, oh, we're so good at those kind of surprises as Scorpios. And but overall, it's like, you know, be patient. Be patient with your heart. Be good to your heart. Be good to your kids. Greetings, Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, here's the good news. You're going to get Venus in your first house on Thursday evening. Now, everything else is kind of like Scorpio's a time where you have to like release, pay your bills, complete things, do whatever you can to make good karma, and stay out of everybody's way for just like another, 2 weeks, because this is a 12th house period for you. 12th house period can be a time of losses, and it can be a time of your own undoing. I mean, yeah, on the good side, it can be pleasure of the bed, some nice dreams. It's a good time to travel, especially if you're going to an ashram or a sacred site in nature, anything spiritual. It's going to help, but that's about it. Let's go to Capricorn now. Greetings, Capricorn. Welcome to your horoscope. You get a lot of insights. Scorpio is a good sign for you as far as friendship, as far as money coming in for you. There's a lot of energy in that department for you, so that's good. Love life. Friday looks like the best night for romance. Things could be kind of intense in the weekend. It could be lovely and wonderful, and it also be just kind of hypercritically crazy. You know, unforeseen things. Unforeseen things stop you from making your plans. That's what I've noticed. I had plans to do something, and it's just kind of like, okay, no, I'm not doing that right now. I gotta do this. And I got Moon in Capricorn, so I feel you, man. It's interesting. Keep making friends. Keep respecting the fact that your parents might have been weird. Venus moving into your 10th house, you know, things get a little easier at work. You know, you're seen for beautifying things. Anyhow, we're going to go to Aquarius now. So, Saturn's in the second house, so you're working to get your money trip together. And Pluto's in your 12th house, so you're just trying to change your deep consciousness, your old karma. I mean, Scorpio's really good for Aquarius because Mars right now is there as well as the Sun, so you're showing dynamic leadership at work. Mercury's been there, so you've been showing some kind of intelligence and ingenuity at work. So, I mean, those are good things. And then that Mercury's moving over into the 11th house at the end of the week. So that'll be more like, some time to see your friends, and that also will help with the economic scene a little bit more, make a little more money. Yeah, Uranus is just in the 4th house. I mean, you find inspiration and work at home. Okay, greetings Pisces, welcome to your horoscope. Yes, Saturn and Neptune. Saturn's almost back in Aquarius. It is, as far as sidereally. But if you're born on February 19th or something, I mean, you're feeling, or even the 18th, you're feeling this Saturn thing really heavy. It's like, wow, I got to slow down. I mean, I know I'm an older cat, but I've talked to so many friends, and it's like, God, the death rate is absolutely crazy. There's been so many people that have died. And it's not something that necessarily attracts legacy media, but there's definitely places on Rumble and Substack and Telegraph and Patreon and all these other formats you can find out about these things. Even little quick things on Instagram and YouTube. Some, every now and then they let something leak out. Yeah, there's dissent, all right. It's so annoying when you're trying to be a dictator of the whole world and telling everybody it's for their own good. Oh, people, what happened? And Pisces, you understand that. You understand how people feel, and this moon Friday night is going to be good for you. You're gonna generate good feelings. Scorpio is actually a really lucky sign for you. A lot of you tend to get into relationships with Scorpios, and for the most part, it works out pretty good. And or you didn't jump on the bandwagon quick enough and you lost out on a great opportunity. Anyhow, I just want you to know, all of you, that I appreciate you. And my friend Drew, back in North Hollywood, or Lita, he's probably thinking this is bad. But it's okay. He's a Scorpio. He's got a right to think that. Anyhow, I look forward to being with you again next week. Don't forget to subscribe. There's no gloom or doom. We're in this waning moon cycle, till the 13th. And then we get some fresh new moon energy that we really need so badly. Thank you so much for being here with me. Om Shanti 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 Om Tat Sat.